Greetings, and welcome to When the Moment Chooses You. I am your host, Coach Charlene, and oh my goodness, I have my heart, Linda Ackerman, with me. So, welcome to the show, Linda.
Thank you very much. I am honored to be here today with you.
Yes, I decided that I wanted to amplify Caring Science for Nurses Week because it's been so instrumental in my career and really in my life. And so I wanted to just take this time. First of all, let's just say Happy Nurses Week
Yes,
to
happy nurses.
all of the beautiful nurses out here. You touch lives every day that you show up, and we are so honored and grateful for you and to be a nurse at the same time.
Yes.
So let's get into this conversation. So, this week I've been talking a lot about how caring science impacts our lives. And so, I would love to know, Linda, after you tell us a little bit about who you are, I'd love to know, how did your caring science journey start?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for asking. So my name's Linda Ackerman, and I'm recently retired from Kaiser Permanente. So my previous role while I was there was the Caring Science Program Director for Northern California. And I had the pleasure and honor of integrating caring science into our 21 medical centers, working in collaboration with beautiful Caritas coaches, very much like Coach Charlene, and so many more within Kaiser Northern California. So that was my primary role. I'm a Caritas coach, heart math trainer, and now I work with Healing Circles Healthcare, uh, uh, teaching care providers, nurses, social workers, chaplains how to lead healing circles within healthcare. So another avenue that we can actually do healing with ourselves and in healing in community. So that's my new world.
I know it's a beautiful world, and you introduced that before you left, and I was so grateful that you did that. It has helped so many healthcare providers
Yeah.
to process the trauma that they've experienced and then move into the healing space. So that's great. So when did caring science start for you?
I think caring science started with me when I was probably about 7 years old.
Hmm.
My grandmother was a nurse, and she lived in Yuma, Arizona, and cared for the indigenous people. She was a maternal child health labor and delivery nurse.
Uh-huh.
And I grew up hearing birth stories. So the caring aspect began when I was very young.
Yes.
As a clinical nurse, I was working with in Vallejo and looking for a nursing theorist with the nursing directors in Vallejo, knowing that we were going to open Kaiser Antioch. And Esther Kern Froelich was one of the nursing directors that I had the honor to
Yes.
work with. She inspired me deeply, and she found Jean. And that began the journey. We started having conversations with Jean regarding caring science. The goal for Antioch was to open a hospital, a community based hospital around caring and the theory of caring and treating families as family. So that began our journey collectively. I became a Caritas coach, I think, in 2010, cohort 5, so very early on. And it was like coming home,
Yeah.
coming together with other like minded, like hearted people on that journey. It just was, it solidified what my heart was looking for nursing.
Yes.
So that's how my journey began.
Well,
I could
that is a beautiful journey. And I'm telling you, the reason you showing up for that journey caused so many of us to have this transformative experience that really we were seeking for. Our soul was seeking for something different. I've shared on the podcast before that in 2010, toward the end of the year, I had kind of totally got burned out, and I couldn't like put words around what I was feeling exactly. But when they brought Caring Science in to introduce it to us, that's where it was like, oh my God. And I reignited the passion for why I went into depression and for humanity, and care. I mean, became a Caritas coach, I think that year later, then a heart math trainer. And I'm telling you, I have been on fire ever since. So it's kind of one of those things that impact you in such a way that you will never forget it, and it changed the trajectory of really my career. And so I'm so grateful for you because I did get time to spend with you before you left, and it was absolutely magical,
Thank you.
and a dream come true. So thank you for all of your contributions and everything that you did for us, and we miss you.
Well, I just got to say, it really wasn't my work, it was our work. And
Yes,
I really want to acknowledge all the Caritas coaches from the Kaiser Northern California and the leadership team that, Jim Delfonso, who really brought this to Kaiser Permanente and really
yes,
fought to really have this be a foundation for Kaiser Permanente Northern California. So without that inspiration from Jim and the collective wisdom of the other Caritas coaches within Northern California, we co-created this Caritas conspiracy together.
yes, we
And
did.
that was deliberate. We really wanted
Yes,
nurses to understand that it's more than just a job. It really is a deeply rooted profession, and it's heart-centered. And using Jean's words and really enlightening, because people already know. Nurses know.
yes,
They step in this profession for a reason. Healthcare, is so busy that we tend to start doing tasks and not
yes,
understand those little tasks without the heart really does cheapen what we do. So,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so tell me, if it's someone that doesn't know what caring science is, how would you explain that to them in your own words?
I think for me, caring science is a way of being. And it gives people an opportunity to kind of pause and understand. Jean talks about it really beautifully. It's a theory. And she says the theory to her is a way is to
Yes,
see how and understand the impact of what nursing is. It's, uh, it's, and she says another beautiful thing. We still have to do the things we do every single day. How we minister or administer that care is what makes a difference. So caring science is the heart of nursing. And it gives us an
yes,
opportunity to deliver care or administer care from our heart center and truly connect with patients, their families, and our peers because
yes,
we create that environment and creating that healing environment within our organization, within our own selves,
yes.
makes a difference. People know and they can feel a difference. I can feel a difference. So it's for me, it's a way of being, and it really is just it comes from my heart center.
Yes, and that is a beautiful description. I'm wondering, Linda, if you could share perhaps a story about a caring moment. I know you've had
Oh
multiple,
my,
but any one in particular you mind sharing with the audience?
wow. Caring moment. There are so many. I think I'll do it from two. One, from a staff nurse perspective, before I even knew what caring science was about, because it's internal. And then as a leader. So way back when, my clinical background or my clinical area of interest is labor and delivery. So I worked at a hospital in Southern California, Huntington Hospital in Pasadena. Loved that hospital. Very forward thinking, incorporated shared governance way, 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 way back when Tim Porter Great himself actually came to the organization and rolled out shared governance at that hospital. But being a labor and delivery nurse, as you know, there are many times where you actually have encountered not so pleasant things, fetal demise. So I had this one patient who lost not one but two babies back to back.
Mm,
And I was her nurse both times. Luckily, she got to term and she delivered got to term. And I was her nurse as she was delivering her full term healthy baby. And she looked at me with these scared eyes saying, I can't do this. I can't push. I said, no, you can. Come on, let's just push. She goes, no. if I hold this baby inside my body, it's alive.
Mm.
I can't push it out because I don't have control then. I said, when you push out this beautiful baby, you're going to hold this beautiful baby. And I'm going to be here with you the entire time. So we're just going to push and we're going to hold this baby because you deserve to have this beautiful, healthy baby.
Mm.
That was my very first truly deep caring moment with this family. We went through multiple losses and then a healthy baby. So I met her to where she needed to be. And
Yes.
we did this together. So we created this loving capsule between her family and myself and the healthcare team to make sure she felt
Yes.
safe. So that's one. Another one
That's
really is just looking at from a leadership perspective of God, there were so many when we were teaching those care talks classes, hearing from nurses about this is what I'm looking for. I need to be connected again. I felt burnt out, and so just all that and
yeah.
living through that, rolling out caring science for Northern California, and just allowing nurses to tell their stories. Those were deep caring moments for me because
Yes.
it was them, it was their story, and it connected them back to their purpose, which kept me connected to my purpose.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And we felt it. We felt the passion. We
yeah,
felt the heart every time we get together and gather. It was just such
yes.
a powerful thing. What would you say, Linda, to those out there that say, because we've heard this so many times, well, I just don't have time.
So, you don't, caring doesn't take time. Caring comes from your heart. And I said this a minute ago, and this is what Jean said it. When we share this video we did with our education, we still have to do the things we do every single day. It doesn't take time to care. That comes from your heart. So when you're doing an assessment or when you're giving a bath or whenever you're doing a blood pressure or giving medication, it's that connection that you provide to that patient and their families of saying, I'm here to help you. I'm here for you. That doesn't take any extra time.
No,
That takes presence, an authentic
absolutely.
presence, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because
Yeah,
you can,
that's,
yeah, and that's the key. It's the authentic presence.
hmm
It's the eye contact. It's the heart connection. Getting heart to heart. Facing them, looking them in the eye, saying, "I'm here for you." Doesn't take any minute extra time at all. It's just being present.
yeah, absolutely. You know what that reminds me of a little story that I was a brand new nurse leader at the time, and then I was doing my rounding. And so one of the nurses, she was like, "Oh, I gotta hurry up. I need to go on break. I need to go on break." And I was like, "That's fine. Just go put a bowl on your patient, and then you can go ahead." And so she rushed in and she rushed out. So I just wanted to go do rounds and see how the care was done. And the lady, she was like, I just haven't had any sleep. I'm just
Mm,
so itchy. I just have so much stuff going on. And then the nurse came, kind of peeked back in, and she said, "You need anything?" I said, "No, we're fine." And I continued talking to her, and I said, "You know what? I think that you need me to massage your back."
yes.
And she said, "You would?" And I was like, "Absolutely. Let's go. Let's do it." She said, "Everybody seems so rushed." And I was like, "No, this is your moment." And so I had her, turn, and we rubbed her back, and it happened to be some lavender scent in it. And I mean, I'm telling you, she cried while I was rubbing her back. And she said, "You know what? You are an angel." Because I really needed someone to do that, and that just the staff seemed too rushed
Yeah.
to do it, and I didn't want to ask, and you just asked, and I was like, "Yeah," and then tucked her in, and everything was good, and so I had an opportunity to kind of coach in the moment and say,
Absolutely.
"You know what? It only took me 3 minutes to do a quick back rub that felt like 30 minutes for her." And so it was a great teaching moment. And just to know that you can infuse healing and caring into somebody to make them feel 100% better. And so it was a great teaching opportunity. So I love what you said there, Linda, because it doesn't, caring doesn't take long. It takes a touch, it
And
takes that kind word.
yes. And,
Yeah.
I think people are afraid to touch. And I think that's, be it from COVID or whatever, it just, humans crave connection. I crave connection. And that's,
Yeah.
we're hardwired that way. Our hearts are hardwired that way. So, it takes no time just to reach out and touch someone's hand and look them in the eye and just say, how you doing?
Yeah.
And then just pause and let them speak. Let them
Yes.
speak. Because,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's so important. And this is the same for staff, you
Yes.
know, especially when things are going crazy. We've all been there, taking a
Yes.
moment just to be on the unit and just saying, okay, I'm here. What's going on? And
Yes. That pause.
pause, and let them come to you. Let them tell you what's going on. And then offer something, offer a breath. Just let's take a moment just to pause. Let's slow down. Because when we take that moment to slow down and get connected in our hearts,
Yes.
the world kind of slows down. You stay out of the lions and tigers and bears, oh my, and you're like,
Yes.
we're here. We can do this. Collectively, we can do this. But you got to
Yes.
give them that space.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Linda, nursing often involves putting others before your own. How do you prioritize the self care and maintain your sense of well being?
That's such a great question because truly nurses don't take time for themselves. We don't. We
Yes.
haven't.
No.
But one thing it sticks with me is you can't be authentically present for another person unless you've taken care of yourself. There is only so much you can give a lot, but to authentically give and authentically
Yes.
care, you have to take your cup has to be full and you have to take care of yourself. And it's not doing big stuff. It can be, what I works for me is gratitude, focusing on gratitude, being thankful for what I have in my life. I have so many blessings. And when you take that moment just to pause and think about your blessings, your
Yes.
heart gets larger and larger and larger, right? And uh, the little things in life don't feel so big. That's one thing. Being able to say no.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one.
You don't have to work that extra shift. You know your capacity. Be smart. We have to take care of ourselves. When you reached your capacity, just say no. It's hard to say no, but
Yes.
for your well-being, give yourself permission. Saying and you've got many of us have done doubles after double after double. And it's for your peers and for your patients. But when you're physically done,
Yes.
recognize that because no one's going to take care of yourself but yourself. But it's recognizing where you are and being honest with yourself.
Yeah. You
Being
know what? I
honest.
think that's so powerful because I'm going back to this was post pandemic, and it actually was you and Sarah that
Mm,
did a healing circle for the healthcare workers. And I happened to join that one, and I had one of my A&Ms join it. And oh my goodness, Linda, I had to turn my camera off because I was crying so
mm,
hard because it happened to be surrounded by, you guys were talking about self compassion.
mm,
And so I recognized as you guys were going through the circle that, oh my God, I have been giving compassion to so many other people, but I wasn't turning it around and giving my own self that compassion that I needed. And that compassion that I needed was exactly what you were talking about. Constantly saying, yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. Giving out what I call your slices of bread. And then I found myself empty and not really being true to me. And so that was so profound, just that awareness, because that when that awareness came, that's where I found that quote, you don't die when your heart stops beating, you die when your heartbeats have no meaning.
I love that saying that you say. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
that
I
is
love it.
so good. I found it on Google and I was like totally never the same because I recognize that every heartbeat that we share, like these moments right here that we're sharing together right now, we'll never share them again.
Yeah.
And that's like sobering when you really think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
And so I love what you said about saying no. I had to stop being Superwoman and taking over this and taking over that, and start being true to Charlene
Yeah.
and finding that joy again, finding that meaning again, so that I can do the things that my heart is telling me to do. So I'm so grateful for you and Sarah that day, because that was a golden nugget that I needed for my journey.
And I think people need to hear it over and over again. And it's some of the even the heart math work. Your capacity. Understand your capacity.
Yes.
We are not endless. We are not robots. We are not automatrons. We are human beings
Yes.
who do have beating hearts. And if
Yes.
you don't pay attention to them, they will stop beating.
That's so true, and that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you? How do you envision the nursing profession or healthcare in the future? When you think about caring science, what do you see for our future?
So I can do it from a context of what I left from Kaiser Permanente, and I'm so thankful that we've been working on caring science in Northern California for 10, 12
Yeah.
years
12.
plus,
Yeah.
and we had a great push initially. People were super excited, and then life happens and things kind of wax and wane. And you get these beautiful leaders in there, and now we have some very dedicated leaders. Or actually, you have
You're still
dedicated.
a part.
I know.
Your legacy's still
Well,
living.
thank you. But I think the piece is having the right leaders in place to really embrace and build. I know you guys are doing some amazing things, and I think this is where healthcare has an opportunity just to say, okay, this makes sense. We're doing it. Nurses need to understand and feel loved and appreciated. That's one thing that you do such a beautiful job. And understand the impact that they have on not just health, their patients, but each other.
Yes.
So I'm excited beyond words that where Kaiser Permanente is taking caring science. We tried doing the classes, through the word of mouth. Now it's much different. I know there people are scheduling them, and it's being supported a little differently, which is so and so important
Yeah.
because nurses, when they understand that this is the vision of the organization, they can get on board a little differently. When it seems subversive and just a few people doing it, it was like, but now it's the new way to be.
Yes.
And I think that's important, so important, because nurses are looking for this. We heard it. They're craving it because
Yes.
they just need to hear the voice. And it is their voice.
Yeah.
And it's a collective, powerful voice. So the more we have on this Caritas conspiracy, the better it's going to be
Absolutely.
collectively.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it takes me back. So we started celebrating Nurses Week. So when I came in yesterday, I was so floored because the heart science group, led by Lonnie and the rest, all
Mm,
frontline staff,
yes.
they had our little hallway, Caritas hallway, and they had the little cleansing circles. I mean, and all of the Caritas processes behind the participants, and they asked the participants that, I mean, everybody that came through, hey, which one speaks to you? And then they stood in the cleansing circle, and then they walked them through quick coherence, and it was so powerful. So I wanted to experience it from the frontline staff. So I got in the circle and I closed my eyes, and oh my God, this one lady, she was so amazing. This nurse was the bomb. She was speaking, and I heard me speaking. and walking someone through. And I was like, oh my God, my tears came into my eyes
Yes.
because I got a chance to see the legacy. So all of the hard work that you did, that others did, all of the work that you were alone and did, it really paid off because now the fire is so bright, especially there at SSC, because these frontline staff are knocking it out the park. They are doing quick coherence. They're leading huddles. They're doing the work, touching lives like that. And so it was so rewarding to be able to see that yesterday. And so that legacy that you started, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that it's been really a challenge in the beginning, but now to see the fruit, it was worth every challenge that we experienced.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No,
Yeah. So
thank you.
anyway, that was just super amazing. So thank you for that. So of course, Linda, on the podcast, I like to ask for three wisdom gems. So it would be like Linda's top three.
Yeah.
What would be your wisdom gems for those out there?
So for my wisdom gems, wow, that's a good question. Um, One, don't give up.
Oh, that's
Don't
good.
give up because what's in your heart matters. And if you truly, truly, truly believe in the processes and this work, don't give up. Change takes time. And one thing that Jean said, and that always resonates deeply with me, is when the moment is right, it will happen. And we just have to be patient. So maybe that's the second gem. Don't give up, be patient, and truly, truly live your truth.
Mm, that's good.
Um, we can always, we wear masks every day, you know, um, but what you hold in your heart is your truth, your true north. Be courageous and speak your true north because then you're authentic. I think that's important. We have to
Yeah.
be authentic to self. Um, Otherwise, it's talk.
Yes, absolutely. Those
So
are powerful.
yeah,
Yeah, those are
those
so
are my gems.
powerful. Great. Now, tell us, Linda, do you want to share anything about what you're doing now?
Oh,
If anybody wants to get in touch with you, all
sure,
that kind of stuff.
sure.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So I've been blessed. Retirement is not for the faint of heart. Um, I thought, oh, perfect. I'll be able to have time. I don't do well with time. I've decided that I need to be busy. I'm not a stay at home, relax. I don't relax easily. So, I don't. So I left Kaiser Permanente and felt it, and I moved states. I moved to Arizona from California. So I left my tribe, my people, and that was hard. Even though I have beautiful family here in Arizona, it was a different way of being for me, and it was not comfortable. So I started looking for things, and the universe provides, right?
Yeah.
So I got connected with Healing Circles Global, and I was already in a circle and hosting guarding for Healing Circles Healthcare for a healthcare circle, and really connected with one of the leadership team with that, and they've asked me to help teach Healing Circle facilitation at organizations. I started with Kaiser before I left. Just stayed with that, and we're still connected with Kaiser, thankfully. And then other organizations teaching Healing Circles facilitation to staff nurses, leaders, chaplains, social workers, whoever wants to, lead this work. And why is it so important? Because nurses and healthcare workers need sacred space together. And it works beautifully virtually, but also works very powerfully in person. But it's just their time with no expectations. We don't fix, advise, save one another. It's just about you. And you get what you want out of the circle by contributing. And it's been a powerful journey. We are doing more and more. We're doing a whole series this Nurses Week. I'm kicking it off today for Healing Circles Healthcare today at 10.
Awesome.
I should have had a flyer, but I don't. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. And if people want to get hold of me, it's linda.ackerman58@gmail.com. That's my personal, and I'm on email almost every single day anyway. So that's it. It's just
That's awesome.
yeah.
Can anyone go to that session that you just mentioned?
Yeah, yes, you have to click on a link, and I think I sent it to Kaiser Permanente,
Okay.
and
Okay. Sounds
actually
good.
it's on
Healing's Global website, maybe?
Healing Circles Global website
Okay.
and on LinkedIn. Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
people. Julie Watson posted it on LinkedIn
Okay.
with a
Great.
QR code. So there's today through Friday we'll be offering circles, and different practitioners are leading them. So beautiful
Okay.
voices. Yeah.
Okay, that's so wonderful. So, as we close, it's been such an honor, of course, Linda, to have you on the podcast. I'll never forget your contribution into my life, and I'm just
Oh,
really, really grateful for you. There's one more question I'd love for you to talk to someone. I'd love for you to talk to someone that's stuck, a nurse that's really stuck. They're coming to work, but the lights are really not on. They're just kind of going through the motions because of whatever reason. So, what would you say to someone like that that feels like they're stuck and they just can't move?
I think what I would ask them is, what brought you to this profession? Just sit back and just think about what do they love about being a nurse, or what did if they've lost that passion, what brought them into nursing, and then ask them to really think about a caring moment. Really go into your heart center and just really maybe get them into their heart. Do a little heart math, have them drop out of their headspace into their heart center, and
Yes,
just one, thank themselves for the beautiful work that they do. And then two, really, what caring moment comes forward when you drop into that heart space, and ask them what emotions that they get out of remembering that caring moment.
hmm,
And when they feel that emotion, do you want more of that?
yes,
And if the answer is yes, saying, this is not difficult. Dropping out of our headspace into our heart center as we enter into a patient's room creates a completely different experience for yourself and for the patient. When we
absolutely,
live in our heart and care from our heart, not only does the patient receive, you receive because it's reciprocal.
absolutely,
You allow that relationship to really transform then. Because when we enter in with our headspace and close off our heart, our patients may love us to death. We can't receive it because we're closed off. Gene talks about that.
absolutely, yes,
So walk in with your heart open and allow that transformational caring moment to happen. That's
absolutely,
what I would
yes,
say. That's what I would
yes.
say.
That is beautiful. Linda's last words for you guys, and it was so powerful. So, thank you for being on the show, Linda. I look forward to connecting with you a little bit later, but thank you for coming back and pouring into all of the nurses and all of your family. We are so grateful for you, and thank you for everything that you're doing in the world to touch humanity the way that you are.
Thank you, Charlene. You too have that great gift. And I'm so thankful that you're in my life.
I want to thank you for tuning in to another inspiring episode of When the Moment Chooses You. I'm your host, Coach Charlene, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Each journey we've shared today is a reminder that when the moment chooses you, the possibilities are endless.